Right, what's the story was a crack? It's about the Black Paddy here, all the way from Monasterevin, County Kildare. The black farmer here now. I'm a comedian, an entertainer. What we're going to be doing today, we're here for men's mental health. Let's have the crack.
How's things, everyone? My name is Stevo Timothy. I'm a comedian and sketch maker from Galway. I'm up to get interviewed today, and I'd just like to say look after your mental health. It's very, very important, especially for men, because we tend to be quiet, so look after each other.
My name is John Mulvey. I'm a stunt performer, stunt coordinator with Hank Stunts. I'm here to talk about mental health and suicide.
How are you doing? My name's Paul. I'm an actor. I do podcasting. I originally started out doing extra work, and it all started from there. When it comes to mental health, sometimes I feel like a lot of places pay lip service to it, but when people are actually in need for the help, I don't think it's always there, unfortunately.
I'm Dean Byrne. I'm an actor and a producer, and today we're here to talk about mental health. June is Men's Mental Health Month, and mental health is the silent killer today. Right, so Dean here, obviously he's now part of the Stories Dublin group. Today we're doing a really, really special episode. It was approached to me by Hank Stunts, and I said we'll go with it. So I have Stevo Timothy here with me.
The Dublin people can never pronounce my name.
I know what I mean? It's so awkward. So I have himself here. Fabu D here as well.
Right, Scan, right, the story.
Paul, as he's known from the Four Stories group. And John Mulvey as well from the Hank Stunts. He's seen us do the Fireborn with him before. So
What a Fireborn.
the aim here, we're going to have a little chat about mental health, especially men's mental health. June is Men's Mental Health Month, and I think it's been kind of blown away with the whole fact as well, where people are trying to induce Pride Month on top of Men's Mental Health Month. So people have been focusing more on Pride Month realistically, and I'll be bluntly honest, they have more so than men's mental health. And as we know, for anyone under the age of 50, men's mental health is a serious issue. Not just under 50, but 77% of men under the age of 50 all suffer with men's mental health, which leads to suicide, which leads to depression, which leads to them taking so many different tablets. Do you know what I mean? People don't talk enough. Men especially, because they're so vulnerable. They're not used to being vulnerable. They need this whole masculine side to them. Do you know what I mean?
We're meant to be the strong ones.
That's the thing. Do you know what I mean? With men, we're meant to be the strong ones. We're real masculine. We don't need to talk. Let's build it up. And then when we build it up, the anger we build in, we're turned into bad people then. But people not realizing, right, who's the one who turned me into the villain here? Do you know what I mean? Like, so we're all here to kind of tell a story or two, in a sense, between depression, between suicidal thoughts, and also as well with the whole film industry as well. Like we're all kind of part of some sort of film industry as well here, and that stuff takes a toll on you as well. Do you know what I mean? And I think we all have a bit to say here. You know, like I'll kick straight into it here, okay? About this whole mental health situation, right? 6 weeks ago, I was in work myself. It was a Wednesday. I got into work at 8 o'clock, and it was 8:30. I rang my supervisor. Now, us, bear in mind, we're in the same building. It was 8:30. I kicked in, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I just said to him, I said, look, I need to go home. I can't be here. I genuinely cannot be here anymore. And he said, hang on, where are you? I'll come over to you. So he came over to me. And he came over to me, he said, what's wrong? Are you all right? And the minute he said, are you all right? I just stopped. I just couldn't. I just stopped. I just broke down. I'll be realistic. It happened to me 6 weeks ago. And I just broke down and I sobbed. And I said to him, look, I just can't be here anymore. I need to go home. I want to go home. He said, no, don't go home. He said, stay here. We'll all have a laugh and a joke. You know yourself. Keep your mind off. If you go home, your mind will just babble on. You won't stop. So I stayed there. But since then, I think it was the whole overwhelming of the fact of being a man, you know. Like, I had kids 4 years ago, right? So I didn't take a moment to, let's say, stop and take a look at what's going on. So between the whole thing of moving out of my mother and father's into my own place, now I have 2 kids, and it's like I was down here in a sense where I'm a bit free, and now I have so much responsibility. I never stopped to take a look to say, everything just overwhelmed and hit me at once. in my personal opinion. So since then, I bit the bullet and I started going counselling 6 weeks ago as well. And my 6 weeks is actually up, and they want to extend it for another 6 weeks. I was doing an hour a day for 2 days a week, and she extended it then for 3 days, an hour a day. So, and personally, in my opinion now, for all men, and for everyone in the room as well, in a sense, going to counselling, I'll be realistic with you, right? And I'm gonna be real about it. Like, it's, as a man, it's different. You know, I don't want to be there. I think she knows I don't want to be there. I'm not used to this whole asking so many questions, trying to get into your feelings. Like,
Opening
you know,
up.
I get annoyed when I'm doing it, but at the same time, I'll go home, then I'm kind of like, okay, I'm actually not too bad. I don't feel as stressed as I was. I kind of explain myself, you know. And it's little situations, like, you know what I mean? Like I said, I just got overwhelmed with everything that happened. You get over the age of 18 as a man, and technically you're a man. From the age of 18, you're a man. And it gets to a certain point when you have kids, you have your own place. There's so much responsibility. You just go with it. You tend to just go with it. As a man, you just go with it. I have to look after the kids, do this. But you don't take a minute to stop for yourself and say, right, what is actually going on? Let me take a look around. Let me grasp on my responsibilities here. You know, I have 2 kids here. They're my responsibility. I have a roof over their heads. I need to make sure I have a job that's paying bills on that. Like, I have a job that's doing really well and paying the bills, right? I don't want to be there. I'm being there because it's paying the bills. Where I want to be is what I'm doing now, with all this film work. But with the film industry, it's financially, at the start, you get nothing. It's nothing. And I'm sure you all know, which is yourselves used to as well, you know. Yeah. Like, at the start, you're throwing money in to try and get things done, which is understandable, like, you know what I mean? But I from my opinion, I think all men kind of need to take a step back for a minute and say, right, what am I doing here? What's like it was said in that film before? What was that? What was your man? It was a film back in the bleeding 80s or 90s. He skipped school.
Oh, Ferris Bueller's Day
That's what it was. Yeah, he said if you don't stop and take a look around, you might just miss it. And I never grasped that line until I had that breakdown, in a sense, you know. So now, since I've started going to counselling, right, I don't have as much brain fog now. I'll be realistic. I still don't tell many people I go counselling. Because I'm kind of like, I don't want people to belittle me, in a sense, you know.
But that's a guy thing. You can't tell them
exactly.
Counselling.
Do you know what I mean? Because you feel like you're going to belittle yourself in front of all these other men.
Yeah.
But and people around you worry then as well. What was the worry that you might be saying shit about them in the council?
That's what I'm saying. So people do ask you different questions. Like, until now, only 2 other people knew that I was going counselling. But like, I think it's kind of with the topic that's going on, be realistic, and I'll just say it. You know what I mean? It's fair, because there's a lot of men that needs to go out and get help out there. You know, there's plenty of different charities out there. Like, you have the Lighthouse charity as well, that I only recently found out about as well. It's about men who work in construction and not just construction, but men who work as well, and finding life a bit difficult, whether it be the financial aspect of things or just the work rate they do at things, you know.
But they kind of help. With one big problem in Ireland, as a bloke, you're going around and people say to you, "How are you? You're grand." "Oh, I'm grand.
I'm okay.
Grand. I'm okay." "Oh, yeah, I'm in debt with the bank. But listen, I'm going to work a couple of weekends every week. I'm going to for a couple of weeks and go and save the money. I'm grand. And it's like, if I just keep running forward, everything will be okay.
Yeah.
I can outrun this thing."
We caught ourselves.
We caught ourselves.
Yeah. And like you said, you just get caught up and stuff.
Yeah.
Life, you just kind of go along to the next thing and to the next thing and to the next thing. And you never take time just to sit back and go like, here, is this what I want to do? Or is my life and the way it's going the reason I'm depressed? Like I say it all the time, and people kind of get taken aback. Like a lot of depression in Ireland can be directly attributed to financial status.
Big time.
And I know that from my dad growing up, because we had nothing and he had nothing, and he felt shit as a provider, and he got into a deep depression over that. You know what I mean? We were happy when we were happiest in my family and not fighting when we got a bit of money. When the uncle sent over a few dollars from America, when we had a couple of pound. Like, it's simple as that. A lot of it can be attributed to financial status.
Yeah.
Not saying all of it can, but it fucking puts you in a bind when you can't provide for your own family or when you have nothing growing up. You know what I mean? So
Especially when you're a father, like, and you've 2 kids, like, like I had the 2 kids at home, all, you know, like, but you always still wonder yourself, am I doing good enough for them, like, you know, financially or the way life is for them, you know, you're like, am I doing the right thing here, you know, because I know in the future I want my kids to be better than me.
yeah, and you want to be able to
100%.
give them
Yeah,
shit you didn't have.
not even that. I want them to be better than me, not with what they have, but what's up here, like. Do you know what I mean? I don't care about what they have. They could have the shittest of stuff in life, as long as they're all
Training
right
for
up
life.
there, as long as they're mentally happy, I'm happy.
I have 2 kids and I agree with that totally. I left my relationship 10 years ago. And I can remember when I left, I felt like a failure. Like, my 2 kids are my life.
Yeah.
How am I going to provide for them?
Yeah.
The job I was in wasn't the best. I got into the film industry, got into stunts. Friends of mine were doing it for years, and it was great money, absolutely great money. But the problem with working in the film industry, as most of you know, it's seasonal.
Yeah.
You work for 2-3 months,
Yeah.
then there could be nothing for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But again, I constantly feel like a failure for my 2 kids. And that's something you can't really talk about.
And you probably always feel that, but they probably look up to you and just see you as a fucking hero.
Well, people do say that to me. Yeah, that's the other side of it.
We have this kind of perception that we're a failure, but they're like, that's Dad, he's God.
Yeah.
You know, but we kind of, like you said, we see the adult version of it and see like, oh, I fucking crap at this or I'm failing at this. It's just human nature, isn't it? We want to do the best for those around us, and when we feel like we're not, we feel like an ultimate failure, because men are meant to be the providers, you know, and the strong men and the guiders, you know what I mean? And when we can't do that, I suppose we feel like failures.
I think there's an element of, no matter what you say, to protect and help the people around you, you have to give up some of your dreams. But if you give up too many of your dreams, man, you're lost.
Yeah, and
you
what
need to
are,
hold on
yeah,
what is important.
and what are you to them then? If you,
you know, and I think that's a lot like that. Like, I had a friend, and he grew up, and his family life would have been amazing. And when him and his partner had problems, he said, "No, we're splitting up. I'm not having my children live under the house I lived under."
Yeah.
So he thought he was doing right, but I think that's the thing. You can only think you're doing right. You don't know if it's going to be a success, but the only thing is...
But we never know. That's life, isn't it? That's the beauty of your life. We don't.
It.
And no one's ever going to like pull you aside and go, you done really well there with your dad, or you done really well there with your son. Like, you just have to fucking learn as you go, I suppose.
Yeah, you live and learn.
Yeah.
You live and learn. Like,
Because there's no guidebook.
There's no guidebook. Like, I remember my dad being very sick for a long time and different things. And it was only afterwards, he wouldn't talk to me, because he'd be chatting, you just wouldn't chat about certain things. But it was only when he was gone the lads would say, no. So, you know, he always knew you were there. But I think as men, sometimes we don't say what we should be saying. And I think we run out of time, and then that person's not in our life anymore, and we regret that. But, like, I think that's the thing in life, isn't it? Like, you're like, if you've no regrets, you've done nothing.
Yeah. But it's like that thing, like, you should tell your dad you love him. Like, I'm in that situation now because my dad has advanced Parkinson's, and I care for him part-time with my other brother, and I want to say I love him, but like, if I went into my dad at the outfit now in the sitting room and says, "Dad, I love you," like, he'd think that he'd like, "Are you fucking dying or something?" So how do I say that to him? You know what I mean? And I feel really...
I do get that. I love my father, but you can't say it.
Yeah.
I can't.
Because we're not we weren't that touchy-feely family.
No.
Like, once I came past like 12, 13, I was a man.
Yeah.
And Dad would be like,
Yeah.
"Well done."
Yeah.
We hug at Christmas when we share gifts. That's it. And it's an awkward, like, and that's about it.
But it's the same, like, as you were saying there, even with my dad, right? I'm the same. I can't tell him I love him. I don't know why, you know, it's just something in me in a sense. And even when you get to a certain age, you're like, "Oh, get away from me, will you?" You know what I mean? I don't want you, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure everyone had. We've all had arguments with our fathers years. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
All have said stuff to each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's because you're very similar to that person.
Yeah.
So sometimes
The
you're having an
grind your
argument
gears,
with
like,
this.
yeah.
It's the same person having an argument on both sides.
And it was the same thing. Like years ago, it got to a point. Me and my father weren't really. We wouldn't even say hello to each other. Sometimes walking past each other. Do you know what I mean? But I'll never forget one night. One night, right? I was out on the gargle. Obviously too much, and it was actually I actually seen you that same night, believe it or not. Yeah, that night, same night.
It was his fault.
It was in the Plaza Hotel. I was in that night.
There, definitely. I was
there, right, and I had a few drinks on me.
I got the white people fighting. Yeah.
I had a few drinks that night, but whatever it was, something happened. I got pissed off. Whatever it was, the shit hit the fan that night. I can't exactly remember, right, but I remember being outside the Plaza Hotel. And then I just remember sitting at home in the sitting room with my dad having a cup of tea, and he's talking to me about life there. I'm kind of thinking to myself, why am I here? What's the story with this? Like, you know what I mean? Only I checked the next morning. I checked my phone and all. I texted him a set message at 3 o'clock in the morning saying, look, I'm going to kill myself. Goodbye. I love you now.
Jesus.
And believe it, he's always asleep at that hour. Always asleep at that hour. But that one night, I'll never forget, that one night, he picked me up, brought me home, calmed me down, whatever. And whatever it was, he found me anyway, because I didn't tell him where I was. And he brought me home. And regardless of everything that still went on, regardless, even the time frame, because every other night he's out cold by that time. Out cold. So I think my brain, I don't know what happened that night, but he was there, guaranteed, always. Guaranteed. And still to this day, I haven't thanked him for that. And
It goes on.
It's a man's thing. I can't thank him for that. You know what I mean? Or I can't say, look, I love you, pal. I appreciate it. But regardless, he tells me he loves me all the time. And nowadays, I kind of look at him and I'm like, do you know what? He is right though. Do you know what I mean? As to where like, I idolise him. I don't tell him enough. But as a man, you can't. Like we said, you can't tell him. You can't. It's
What I think is, any man listening to this and all us here know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Women and all females don't understand any of that.
Because they're more comfortable with that.
Yeah. So when we're having arguments and we can't express our feelings with our partners or girlfriends, like my girlfriend is constantly saying to me, just speak to me when we have a fight.
Yeah.
And I can't.
That's key.
I leave.
I'm
I
afraid
get
to
in
get
the car
upset.
and I leave.
I am afraid to get upset in front of her. That's
I need
why.
to learn how to do that. See the way you are like not being able to. I speak like I'm not joking. Like,
but that's good though.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's great,
I
man.
will I don't care. I will let her know how I am because I don't like to be. See, let me like. My life, I've been man. I've had a very great roller coaster life. I think people see me these days and be like, oh, Black Paddy, this man, how do you have the energy to travel around and how do you have because see what I do, I travel around Ireland. First of all, I'm breaking barriers, from black to white, from north to south. I'm like going to places whereby you're not even invited, you're just turning up because I question everything in my life, right?
Yeah.
The day I realized that happiness is not something that we acquire and be like, oh, now I'm happy now. Now that's it. Now let me relax. The day I realized that happiness is not something that comes and stays. It's something that it's mentally. You have to build that mentally. Like for example, if you want to have a big, strong muscle and big body, you go to the gym. Like if you go to the gym the first day, it's not like you're going to be like boom and be all huge the first day. You have to go a couple of times to see difference, to see like progress. Same as building that mental state of happiness. Like until that day, one day I realized that I can be happy today and tomorrow she might go down again. I don't know, man. It's a weird lifestyle for me, that kind of way. Then I had to build myself mentally to prepare for the worst. Like every day I've lived my life whereby I wake up the next day and I look at my social media and I lost 1,000 followers. I'm like, why? I go down, people tagging me.
Yeah, I was gonna say that we have that extra thing.
That kind of anxiety, that anxiousness of
you upload a video, and it goes good. And you get that endorphin hit, and then when it goes, the video goes shit. You feel like deleting everything and killing yourself and never doing it again.
When it goes to the wrong audience, and the audience that are not willing to accept what you're saying, and they kind of spread that because social media can be like that. You mean this way, but they will turn it to a way by.
You only had a problem like that recently, though,
a lot of times. Oh, there's a lot of seasons. There's episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. Which episode are you looking for?
What season are you on?
Trust me.
Thank God I'm not controversial anyway.
I'm on the final episode here, bro. So it comes.
Hopefully not, man.
So it comes to my relationship life as well. So when I feel like me and my partner is going through something, I'm like, look, listen, I'm not feeling okay right now. And the reason why I'm voicing that out is because I believe that if I keep something in my body for so long, it's either going to cost my health, it's going to cost me something different. So I'd rather kind of save myself, one, and the other person too, because I love people, man. I'm a people's person, genuinely. And when I question people or I say how I feel, obviously that might turn back at me because they're not happy with what I just said or how I opened up or the question I asked. But if my worry is all about pissing them off and losing my word to my own self, not focusing on me, the main character, or not worrying about people who actually genuinely love me, then I'm losing myself. So when I feel like somebody says something to me that is negative or not great, I will question it. If my missus say to me something or she acts weird to me and say, oh, this is going on, I'll question her real quick. I'm like, this is it. This is what I don't like about what's going on.
I kind of started to do that recently.
You know,
if I feel like there's something there, I'll go
Yeah,
are you off?
Yeah.
Whereas I never
tried.
said that before.
Yeah,
Since I've done that counselling, I've tried, you know, and it's, to be honest with you, for years since me and my missus have been together, we wouldn't tell each other in a sense of how we feel, and in a sense there's sometimes we don't, but since I've even went to the counselling, right, and your one has kind of said to me, look, here's 2 or 3 questions I want you to go home and say to your missus and find out some stuff, and then I'd say, and it opened up a whole page as to where, like, how come we haven't been able to say stuff like this to each other before, like,
someone to bite the bullet.
But now I'm like, what the hell? Like, this it makes it so, it releases so much all this tension here.
You don't understand.
You have it strung by a rope, and it's caught, and it assembles itself.
It's like a tension.
But it's like they said, holding it in, I guess, holding it in an acid burns the vessel.
But
you know what I mean?
Is that how we were brought up as Irishmen? I know what you're saying is that a different culture thing.
Yeah.
The way we were brought up as Irishmen,
Shut your mouth then.
Shut your mouth, go to work.
Get on with it.
That's it.
What the fuck are you on about?
If
like?
you're on a building site and it's raining and you're not feeling great about yourself, the foreman doesn't care. He wants them blocks over there. And that's it.
Your emotional well-being
Your
is not
emotional
part of his.
well-being is not part of
And
this.
we try and tough it out by like, well, if everyone else thinks I'm grand, I must be fucking grand.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like when I first got diagnosed with panic disorder, and I was going through it and I didn't understand what was happening to me at the time, so I kept it quiet. And then I eventually went to the doctor with my dad, and we went down and blah 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 and blah blah blah, and I try this med for this and blah blah blah. And then the outflow, like a year or two later, goes like, just out of the blue, we were coming home and he goes, oh, I had them when I was younger, and that was it. And it was never mentioned again. He had panic attacks, and I was going through this for a few years, and he never like felt the confidence to reach out to me and go, you'll be fine, I had these. It wasn't until later that he goes, oh, I had them, and it was never spoken of again.
I can be really good sometimes, but like I'm an introverted, so if I'm around people, it kind of burns me out a bit. Do you know that way? So it's like I'm giving them my energy. I also have ADHD, and one of the main things when I read up on it, and the only thing that made sense in it was, I've no reward centre. So if we finished something, I remember we were doing Game of Thrones, Battle of the Bastards, and lads were all, this is my moment. And I was like, it's gone now.
You didn't get the feedback.
I didn't get the feel. I was like,
Completion.
I'm looking forward to seeing this on television. And I used to look at people going, how do you feel them things? And I think that's the thing. Sometimes like I understand people are talking and they say, just say whatever comes out of your head. But sometimes I find in myself, I don't like to say it to people because I haven't figured it out in my head. I might need a day or two to have a think with my own self.
Yeah, you don't even know yourself, so how do I know to...
And as you were going on about anxiety, I did a bit of an injury and that kind of put me down, and I did security for years, so social events were always work to me. So when someone invites me to a social event, I'm like, or because there was family drama or something, I see all them things as negative, where other people would see them as positive.
Well, I'm the same. I see going out being in public as an anxious, horrible thing. I don't like to do it. I don't like to be out around people because I suppose a lot of bad experiences as well in Galway. Like, I wouldn't go nightclubbing now or go out to a pub in the night because you're just going to... I'd react to it because that's how I was raised. If someone goes past me and like fucking spits in my direction or calls me a handicap, I'm not going to walk away and ignore that.
No.
And my friends are not going to do that either. So that's going to turn into roaring, cheers, me getting in the car chasing people. Like, I will, like, and
Your brain's going there and you're trying to stop yourself.
I shouldn't bite it.
I don't want to put myself in this point.
Yeah, but I do because you were raised like if someone goes past you and gets thick with you, you fucking hit them a smack in the mouth. That's the way, you know what I mean?
There is that thing of like...
You let one person walk over you, everyone's going to fucking do it. You know what I mean?
There's times like you're walking through life and you don't know if you're right. And sometimes you're a bit of a bastard and sometimes you're too nice. It's trying to find that line because if you're too nice, you just get walked over.
Yeah.
Do you know that way? And like as you were saying about anxiety, like I thought to myself back going, how come I went here, I did this, I was out. And I thought to myself, you were drinking at the time.
Yeah.
So I'm like sitting there kind of thinking,
This is the real me.
Thank you.
This
and I
is,
was like, I was grand. Well, yeah, but because I remember like one night I was at a wedding. I went to the wedding and then the next morning I woke up and he said to me, how did the wedding go? And he said, you were Irish dancing. And I went, oh, I remember that. And he said, I was with an Irish dancer, like she was doing it and I just went up. And he said, you did remarkably well. And I was, oh, good Jesus. And then I was like, well, that's what like a bottle of Morgan Spice into your wedding does, you know that way?
But that's a lot of Irish society now. Like
to everybody else I was doing great, I was damaging myself.
As teenagers, we only do things when we're drunk. We meet girls when we're drunk. It's all based around a false sense of ego. Like, I only done things in my teenage years when I was drunk. I couldn't even, like, say, go into the Dole office for a meeting without having a nagging because my anxiety was so bad. But the drinking was causing the anxiety.
Yeah, yes.
But like, and I used to go, like, and a lot of the lads didn't know this, that I'd go drinking before I went drinking.
Yes.
Because I couldn't go down to the lads' house because I'd be holding the thing like that.
Or the drugs.
So I'd have to have something in me before I'd done something.
I used to be the same. Whether
That is
like
true.
at first I'd be going on nights out, and I couldn't go on a night out unless I had cocaine.
Yeah.
That is
I couldn't, and then it got to a point where I was walking around the shopping centre just having cocaine. Just walking around the shopping centre.
Normal,
just doing cocaine.
everyday things.
And then it got really bad to a point where I was living with my mum and dad, and I went over probably about 34 hours just straight. Sit at home, my mum and dad, just straight. 24 hours, just couldn't stop, didn't stop. Got to a point where I had to stop, where I actually couldn't get it up my nose. And I praise me missus because when me and her started seeing each other, she gave me that choice: either you can keep doing that and I'm gone, or
Legend of a girl. That's a very good girl right there.
Man, I still praise her to this day for that. You know what I mean?
And all it was doing it wasn't even serving a purpose after 36 hours on it.
Yeah.
All you were doing is giving yourself a panic attack.
It was just the whole fact of just doing this. It was just the whole fact of doing this, man, and it was like I ran up serious money over that stuff and everything.
That's a great thing to have, is a great female behind you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I've been with a few girls over the years who just didn't give a shit about you.
Yeah.
The girl I'm with now is my absolute rock. She is there for me, and I wouldn't be here without her.
Wow.
Same with mine, yeah. Like she gave me 2 kids and everything.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
regardless,
Where'd you get these girls, bro?
I love the way you said she gave me 2 kids. It's like she just found 2 kids again.
Actually, do you know what it is? If it is and you're looking for the right woman out there, stop looking.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, man.
You're looking and you're going out and it be this and this and this and this and that, and you're trying to be this and this and that. You need to just not. You need to be
That's
yourself.
true.
When you've looks like me, though, they just come. You know?
That's so true.
looks like maybe wrong.
My girlfriend, I knew her for years. We were friends for years. And then it just happened one night, we kind of just got passionate, and from there we've been together now for nearly 3 years.
And you have kids with her?
I don't. I have 2 kids with an ex-girlfriend of mine.
Oh, yeah.
Who's to say I won't have kids with her?
No way. That is
I think that's
We're
a
only
big
young
thing.
yet.
People get involved in relationships, and listen, there's some great women out there, and there's some women, they're not so great. And maybe it's because at the time you're in a toxic stage and they're in a toxic stage, and you put that together. But sometimes I think it's that if you have a relationship without a friendship, do you know that way? You have to be friends.
Yeah, that's
You
exactly.
have to-
I've learned that a lot
You have to be
now.
able to.
You have to
if
be.
you can't, you can't hang around with your significant other like you would the lads. I know it's not. If you can't hang around with her, like me and Roxy will go for a drive in the car and just mess around in town and laugh at each other. and laugh
way.
at stupid things. And if we didn't have that, then we're running the stages for no reason. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's just rigmarole. Like, you need to be friends with them, and you need to be able to have the crack and pull the piss. Like, she called me all sorts of names about my disability. Oh yeah, I fucking do. I do.
I'll be in public and I'll be like, yeah, we're in Marks and Spencer's, Dons. I'm bored. What am I going to do? I have to do something.
Yeah.
And she's like, what?
Roxy's watching this now, and she's like, yeah, you fuck it. Yeah, I will always do it. Like, always do it.
You know, what was it, the Bob Marley thing? Everybody hurts, but you got to find the ones that are worth the hurt.
But yeah.
You know what I mean? That man was a poet.
He was a deep poet. My mom used to say something, right? She said that you don't know a woman until you have kids with them. And I'm like, that's deep, bro. You think you know someone, wait till you have kids with them, then you see the real character come out. You be like, no way.
The devil.
So I'm like, you know what? If I want to ever marry a woman, I'm just gonna bring that to my just to random like family member kids and just see how she deals with them. Like, here we go. You're a good girl, so cool. That's it. That's my wifey right there. Come over here. Come over here. I'm marrying you. You treat that baby really good. Come over here. Oh, it's crazy.
Are any of you married then?
I'm engaged.
No, I'm not married, man.
I'm divorced.
I'm divorced.
Well, not divorced. Legally separated.
I don't know if I want to get married. That's the thing.
There's always that question line of Russ, like, and would you marry again and all that? And I just don't want to ever go back to that situation.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
What it is?
I don't
mind
know.
the relationship.
I don't know.
I don't mind that, but I hate the fact that you have to go in, do a piece of paper, go under a
big ceremony and everything.
Have a ceremony and then it becomes
for
about your uncle and your auntie
and get
and
debt
her
for it.
friends and your friends, and it becomes so much. That's why I hate weddings, because it becomes so much about other people, not about.
It's a party for them, and you're in debt for it.
That's what
you know what I mean.
Even my missus says that, and she's like, I don't really want a wedding. I goes, why? She goes, because what's the point of spending so much money on a big ceremony and all this for everyone, spending thousands where. If you were to have thousands, let's just go on a 2-week holiday.
Yeah.
A 2-week.
That'd be cool. Like, you know, just
spend all the money on that.
a mini wedding somewhere in the beach, like somewhere cool.
Lanzarote. I've always said it to her. I'd love to get married on Lanzarote beach.
Right, just for me and you know, that kind of way.
Yeah.
I have one condition. It has to be an Asian Elvis and in Las Vegas, and they give you chips at the end. Asian Elvises are the best Elvis impersonators I'm putting out there.
Give me chips at the end.
They're the
of it.
best.
No, it's crazy.
I'll have to look up Asian Elvises now.
They're brilliant. Oh, dude, they're my favourite.
I was going to do an impression, but I just won't, because we'll all get cancelled straight away.
There's a good chance someone will get cancelled.
Yeah. But I'm going to kick into a little moment, right, about depression itself, okay? For each of us, our own past, let's say, on depression, you know, a little moment for ourselves, because I'm sure we've had something in the last few years. Like for yourself, Steve, I know that you were obviously telling me before we were doing this, you have a sad anniversary next week.
Yeah, it's 19 years since my crash.
And coming, like, for a time like now, like, coming close up to it, how would you be now, realistically, like?
You get down, obviously. I'll be quiet that day, because you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
And like, for anyone that doesn't know, I was drink driving in 2005, lost control of the bike, crashed, my passenger died about a week and a half later. So every time that anniversary rolls around, like, obviously it's not a date you look forward to. You don't fear it either, but it's a quite reflective day.
Does it still crack you down?
Yeah.
Like, I don't mean to sound silly when I'm saying that, but in a sense, like, obviously years ago, I'd say it was even harder, but as to where now you've kind of, I don't mean to sound stupid, but you've kind of accepted the fact, but it's still rough, like.
Yeah, I suppose I'll never accept it as such. I'll accept my responsibility for causing it, but I'll never accept it. Like, I kind of see, when you don't remember a crash like that and the traumatic experience, when you don't remember it fully, it's like it's happened to someone else. So I always see it as what I'd done to him and what I'd done to me. It's like I destroyed his life and mine. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm divorced from it because I don't remember it. So it's a weird duality, I suppose.
And then in the last year as well, I've talked with yourself, John. Like, in the last year as well, you've had some serious roller coaster moments.
Oh yeah, serious. Like, again, it's like lost a lot of friends in the past year. One of them was a 19-year friendship. Just things were going. We kind of tried to set up a company together, and it was going quite well. And then I found out behind the scenes I was just kind of getting stabbed in the back.
Damn.
My name wasn't on anything. I kind of accepted
You didn't
that.
put your name on anything?
No. So I wouldn't obviously name the company because obviously people will see this.
Yeah.
People who know me and know the people I'm talking about will understand. So we stayed friends. He went his way, I went mine. I started getting a bit busier than what he was, and from what I've been told, he didn't like it. And tried to sabotage me in every single way he could. I didn't see at the time, a lot of people were saying it to me. Like I said, best friend, 19 years. I'm like, no, he wouldn't do that. Found out then exactly what everyone was telling me was true. Last February, I tried to do a big thing for myself, get myself out there in the stunt industry even more, and he basically just stabbed me in the back. Left me high and dry. The course I was doing could have been quite dangerous if I didn't have other people there, but because I separated the company with him, a lot of friends sided with him, so I lost an awful lot of friends in the past year.
And see, you do stunt work, so like you really need to trust every
It's
single
a small
person.
world as well.
You need
Like-
to trust everyone around you. Like,
Yes.
if you can't trust someone, you go and do something. Like with being stunts, like worst case
Like I got
scenario,
a
you're
phone
dead.
call one night saying by a girl who trained under my friend. She rang me one night and goes, just let you know all your stuff's on the side of the road. Like all my pads, all my mats, my trampoline, all my fire gels were literally just thrown out the building. Because I had this argument with him for what he done to me. Haven't spoke to him since last February, so you're going a year and a half nearly. But again, that really affected me.
That puts you in a really serious bad spot, man.
And I will admit, since the past 10 years, I've contemplated committing suicide twice. This will come to a shock to even my family. I think 3 people know this.
At least you've admitted it, though.
Yeah. And my girlfriend is one of them. And my best friend was one of them who was there for me when I tried to do it the first time. It's quite hard. But it's finding that person, like my girlfriend who was there behind me the past year, who was my rock, and she said to me, go to therapy. I wouldn't.
Do, man. Honestly, seriously, my opinion, and anyone who knows me knows that I'm the most stubborn prick you'll come across, especially when it comes to feelings. I don't, I'll be realistic, the only people I say I love you to is my wife and my kids. That's how much I am with my feelings, to be honest with you. And doing this therapy thing, it helps. It helps, trust me, man. You're vulnerable. I'll be realistic. For that whole hour out there, I'm vulnerable, man. And there's moments, I'll be honest, I've cried once or twice in it. Do you know what I mean? I'll be out straight about it. But I tell you now, man, I've already done 6 weeks and she's extended for another 6 weeks, okay? And from that whole 6 weeks, probably the first 2 weeks, I wasn't going into it. I was giving short answers, this, short this, short this. And regardless, she was still rapid fire with me, straight up on it. She didn't care. She was getting everything out of me.
Well used to it.
And now I've kind of started to explain a lot more, it helps. It helps. It does. You have to, bro. Trust me, man.
That's the thing is, I think it's because the way, like we said earlier, the way we've been brought up, I couldn't go to, I really hate getting upset. Like my girlfriend says to me all the time, look, just cry, get it out. At least you're doing something. As a man, you can't.
Crying and breaking down is admitting there's a problem.
Exactly.
And you want to cod yourself.
Yeah.
You want to keep up the illusion that everything's
That's
grand.
it exactly.
But there's a thing I encountered is everybody says go talk to somebody. They forget that sometimes the people that you're being sent to talk to aren't very good at what they do. If you don't bow your head and, just run their course as they want, they're not always cooperative themselves. Do you know that way? And that's the thing. I hear people talk about mental health and all that, and different things, and just talk about stuff. And you're saying, I understand what you're saying, John, about opening your head, and my missus is into like paganism and they're into this and all that and opening yourself up. And I'm like, do you really want to open that Pandora box in one day? Do you know what I mean? Do you want 35 years of mentalness?
Yeah, I'm afraid of my own mind at times. I don't want to fucking open it up sometimes to other people because they probably think I'm a fucking lunatic.
I find like you'd be talking to somebody and they say, yeah, just talk about your problems and tell you. And then you start talking and you start talking history. And you get this look in their face and they don't know what to say to you. You say, that's why I don't talk to people. You know what I mean? Because people are very comfortable with, let's say mental health in the sense, I'm not feeling good about myself today.
Oh, that's terrible.
Did you try having
have a cup of
in
tea
the morning
or go for a walk,
see the sun, or have a little walk or whatever? You don't talk about when you're having a walk and you're throwing yourself off the bridge. You know what I mean?
When people tell me to go for a walk, I'm like, you fucking bastard. Why don't you go for a short walk? Someone had a post up the last day on my page under something and it goes like, Stevo, you should run in the elections, and your man goes, the key word is run. Fucking thump you in the mouth.
Only you can see that joke, man.
Yeah, I'm walking away.
But like you were saying, like it's, as I said at the start, suicide is a serious problem with men and depression. Do you know what I mean? And the fact, I'll shake your hand. Come here. I'll shake your hand. You willingly opened that in the last 10 years. You wanted to do it twice. Now you haven't been able to speak to people, but now there's going to be thousands of people that's watched this and seen you be out straight and say it.
That's what I'm hoping for. This is why I wanted this. When we came about this idea, I was like, right, even if it helps one person.
Yeah. I've always said that when I talk about it openly, like that. If it just helps one person or one person would even fucking reach out to someone or even message me, then Jesus, your job is done. Like you've probably saved a life. Like, you know, how much more fulfilling is that in life? That you could die knowing you might have saved someone's life. Exactly. Like regardless of anything else you've achieved or unachieved in your life, that is an amazing fucking achievement. And we do that every day by talking to people and just being friendly to people. Like I remember like years ago, like I had a skint head and I went around like a little scumbag. Like
I remember them days myself.
and I will always remember the people that like come over to me and ask me, am I okay and stuff, like middle-aged women and stuff. And I will never forget them people. Because they took time out to come over and go, are you okay? And I like, let's be honest, I look like a person that might have like attacked them or mugged them. But yet they come over and ask me, am I okay? Yeah. You know what I mean? And
that's one thing I love about the Irish people. People don't see that about, like you know, like coming from a foreigner like me, something I've seen with the Irish people that I barely see even with my own people. I could be walking on the street and like the other day, I'm from Monasterevin, County Kildare, and I finished from the gym on my way home. This lady pulled over and in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm not in the mood to be, because my job, right? You need a lot of energy to bring that personality of the Black Paddy. What's the story? How you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
It takes a lot of energy, but sometimes you don't want to play that out. Sometimes you just want to be
your own bubble. You're just drained, man.
Yeah, you want to be your own bubble. You want to be yourself and just do your own thing, you know? So I was just coming from the gym on my way home. This lady just pulled over in front of me and she rolled down the window and I'm like, oh, what does she want to say to me now? And she goes, Paddy, what's the story? Come here. How are you doing? How's the head? Are you all right? How are you feeling? I see you're getting so much abuse online. I'm just checking up on you. Is everything all right? Don't worry about that. A lot of Irish people love you. Keep doing what you're doing and keep going.
That helps.
Rolled the window back up and drove off.
Yeah.
And I felt toxic for a second. I was like, look at me trying to avoid the conversation. But whatever she was about to bring was good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, like, it's just like...
She didn't want that from you. She was genuinely gave a shit.
Pictures, nothing. Just that little bit of word of encouragement. That's how much communication with two people just makes a difference. Like, that made me more happier. One, two, you lose guard that anxious feeling of when people's coming out to me, be open. It's okay. You don't know what they're trying to say. They might need help, whatever, how you're feeling. Just be open, like that kind of way. So that gesture of that lady, the fact she came over to me and say what she said, man, that was powerful. So if we can understand that, just being positive to one another, be loving, because the things that I do, or you do, or you do, or you do, or what you're doing, it takes a lot of effort because all we're trying to do intentionally is making people happy, and we're putting our work, our art on social media for other people on the other side to see and laugh, to have a great day. Just take a break from your stress, take 5 minutes, watch Stevo's video, take a bit of 30 minutes of your life, watch the podcast, or watch the movies involved in, or watch the Black Paddy video. That little time you're spending to watch this art of work by these people, you're not worrying about other things. But guess what? Some people don't give a fuck because they're not having a good day and they just in your just
hurts
happy
people.
this happy fucker. Who the fuck does he think he is? You're not fucking funny. And just
You're not Irish, so you talk.
Exactly. Go back to your little country. And I'm like,
misery loves company. And you will find in your life that there's people around you, and when there's misery, they love being around you because you're like a little docu-soap for them. And they're a docu-soap for you.
Downward social comparison. They feel better because you're so fucking miserable.
It's the Jeremy Kyle thing. It doesn't matter how messed up my life is, I was much better than anybody else.
My teeth are that bad.
You know what I mean?
I was better than anyone I knew, Jeremy Kyle.
I was even better than Jeremy Kyle. I didn't have a gambling problem.
One of the times I really noticed, like, it was very early days when I noticed that, like, even though I'm only making silly little videos online that you make a difference, there was a woman that messaged me and said her daughter had just died. She had only died, like, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. She had only died, like, the Thursday or Friday. And she goes that, what's getting me through it is watching your sketches, because before she passed in the hospital, she used to watch the sketches with her daughter.
Powerful.
And that's like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, because you think you're only doing silly, little stupid videos and having the laugh, and you don't realise that there's these people watching them, and they have built relationships about watching them. Like people that have messaged and go, I was watching a video in fucking Thailand, and some Paddy from the other side of the bar was like, oh, that's your man, and they get talking to each other. And you never really think of that. You never think of the kind of connections that build, or like the woman with her daughter, and you just think, Jesus Christ, like you. And it's hard to even say now that, like, oh, you make a difference. You know what I mean?
But you all separate yourself. You see what you were talking about, persona, and I think that's the thing. Social media and all these things has really amplified these things, but people do that every day. There's people that go into their house, and whatever's going on in there, they walk out and they put a fake smile on, and they go and tell you everything is great. Like, I had a friend now, he passed away with suicide, and it was quite unfortunate because he had a name. It was an extra, because he had a name similar to an actor. They thought he was a Game of Thrones actor, and the media covered it and stuff like this. And it's just horrific because it became a kind of, there was people there for him, and I'm not saying, but it became this kind of circus that he didn't deserve. I kind of found out he was going out with a girl and things weren't going well. And I still think of this man, like I met his brother and I was like, your brother was brilliant, Andrew was deadly, we all loved him and all that. And it meant nothing to his brother. I don't mean it meant nothing to his brother. It didn't take, because he was so used to hearing it. And the thing I always remember is he'd go around and he'd make everybody laugh. He'd do impressions. He was key at little regional accents, the whole lot, mannerisms and the whole lot. But when I used to see him, I never laughed because I was always trying to make him laugh. I didn't want him to be I wanted to have a crack with him. Do you know that way? And because he always felt he had that responsibility to other people, and he was such a good guy.
You do end up filling that role though. When I was growing up, like I had to be the one to say something, or I had to be the one to do the joke. And like as a comedian, like we're renowned for mental health issues. Like we crave acceptance. Like the deep down, we just want people to like us.
Look at Robin
and
Williams.
It's very and it's very hard when, like I'll say, you'll hear one boo over 1,000 cheers. Like it's like reading comments. One very negative comment will stick in my mind over the 999
I swear, that's
positive
annoying,
ones.
man. That's so annoying.
Because
it depends if your brain is set to optimism or pessimist. Because I'm a bit of a pessimist. So when I see things, I analyse the negatives to try proof. But then I lead myself down a garden path I did not want to lead down.
You know what I mean? I'm telling you, I'm in their profile picture, I'm in their family group. I'm like, what the fuck is this nigga trying to say shit to me? And I'm just like that as well. I'm like, I'm trying to be good now. I'm trying to like not. I don't even have my notification on my phone anymore now. I'm actually like, it's off now because it's nearly made me. I nearly ran crazy just because of social media. When
I've nothing on my phone. I've no ringtone. I've no.
I thought it was
I've
fun.
nothing. If I have a missed call, I look at it and go, oh, I'll ring I'm getting back.
It's crazy. It can affect you.
No wonder it's so
mentally,
hard to get in contact with you two boys.
No, but it's because you're doing that shit. You hate your phone.
It's better. Like the only way I can say it is if I do that, then I can see everybody texting me now.
Yeah.
I don't even have them notifications coming up.
I need to have that because, bro, like you know, but like it's crazy how all this thing can affect our mind, our feeling, our state of being. You know, that kind of way. Social media, financial stuff, health, family, all these things, all these little mini things. Because for us to function in this world, as this universe as it is, because for me, right, I've had so much situations that has happened to me, and it can happen to anybody. I'm not special. This thing that's happening to me can happen to anybody. But the only way, me personally, I've tried to overcome these situations is, first of all, I had to like take control over my own fucking life, because at the end of the day, my mom won't leave Africa and come down to me like, hey, you alright? Fuck them white racist motherfuckers. It's okay. She's not like she'll come over and say that to me. I had to take responsibility.
Pick yourself back up.
Yeah.
You have to rely on yourself.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, no one is going to come help me. The Irish government is not going to be, oh, sure, just everybody stop. There's a guy called Black Paddy here is down. Let's see what's going on with him. Nobody gives a fuck.
Him.
You know what I mean? You can do it. And I had to pick myself back up too. I had to speak. I didn't give a fuck about anybody else. I'm like, you know what? I'm a public figure. I'm allowed to say how I feel. I don't care if they want to unfollow me. I go online, I tell people I'm not happy, and this is the reason why I'm not happy. I get people liking stuff, commenting. I read the positive comment from everybody saying you're doing a good job, keep going. And when I read all those positive comments, it boosts my mood a little bit, 20%. Then the next one, I'm like, all right, cool. For me to be mentally okay and to fight this battle and be free spiritually, I needed to be closer to God. You know, I'm a very heavy believer of God and Jesus Christ, by the way. I'm a very great Christian. I pray to God. I tell God what I'm going through in my life. I'm like, you know, God, look, this is what I am going through. I need help spiritually. I need you to help me from this situation. And let me don't lie to you, man, I have been seeing so much miracles, so much great things that God has been showing to me and has been giving to me, because you can go to a therapist, you can go to a counselor, and they will help you. And I advise everybody to try to go to a counselor or go to a therapist for a little bit of guidance, because at the end of the day, we don't know what we're doing, if we're right or wrong. But someone who has studied this psychological thing about life will help you in this direction. Mm-hmm. Now, after doing all those things, you need to be spiritually powerful. I don't care what religion you are, Muslim, Christian, Hindu, whatever it is.
Or no religion.
Or no religion. Scientism. You can meditate. You can actually sit down and actually, like, you know, focus on your breathing and just kind of like think positive. All you have to just do, think positive, all your situation, write them down on a piece of paper, know what you're going through, sit down somewhere no one is going to stop you, focus on your breathing and just keep your mind straight. If you can do that for a week, you know what you're trying to do? You're taking matters in your own hand. You know, no one is actually like, because at the end of the day, we don't have the answers. Scientists don't have the answers. I mean, if anybody can tell me which company makes water. No, so let's go ahead.
H2O.
Hydrogen.
No company makes that. That's nature. Yeah. So we don't have the answer to everything. All we have the answer to is ourselves, the DNA, the nervous system in our body, how our flesh works, how we breathe in air, come out. We breathe in air and we breathe out air. If we sit down and just, you know what, focus on our breathing and think positive and, you know, just stay guided to our institution. Man, that's how personally I came over this depression I went through for a while, because I mean the government taking my car off me for 10 years, bro. Me driving around Ireland was my pride and joy. My black BMW. I used to drive past my bus station where people be standing at the bus stop and I'll be doing my loud music. I'll be like, you, it's the Black Paddy, bye. But now, fast forward 5 years later, I'm standing with these motherfuckers at the bus stop as well, like looking for bus. You know that, you know.
Get a horse.
I swear, you know, I'm thinking about doing that, because half of those boys in Ballyfilm are riding a horse. They're part of the road as well. They just riding a horse for the show. You know what I mean? I can't wait to, because you don't need a license to do.
If you get a little trailer, a little seat, you're going to have to pimp that out.
Oh, we're definitely.
You're going to have to pimp it. You don't just make it traditional.
And the guard that can never pull me.
It's sulky.
They can't pull me over driving a horse.
I'd get your horse riding lessons.
Oh, please,
there you go.
You should do that, you know.
This is on. This is happening. This is happening.
You know, but if see
the black jockey.
The black jockey. On a sulky vibe.
Make a joke about one like a jockey.
You know, so like, personally, man, I won't lie to you. I've been through a lot of up and down, and I'm grateful. I'm thankful to God that I haven't been that deep yet of trying to take my own life. But I'm just grateful to God that God has actually taken me out of a dark side whereby I was about to give up, man. Like when I mean give up on everything, give up on social media, give up on working hard. Just go back and do a normal job and just get yourself going and just live like a normal person.
Yeah, you do.
But,
It always goes through your head though. Should I get a proper job?
Just live like a normal guy. Don't stress it out anymore. It's okay. Everything is fine. But I said, you know what? Nah. I don't want to be a bitch. I better just stand up and fight my fight. That kind of way. It's because it's part of living. We here standing right now, we're living purpose. This is a purpose right now. A lot of people would like to be in our position right now. A lot of people like to have a podcast. A lot of people like to have their own show. A lot of people have to be a comedian. A lot of people like to be a stunt. A lot of people like to do what you do. But because some of these people don't even have the opportunity. Some of these people can't even get out of bed, bro.
Yeah.
Just sitting in bed, lying down, wishing they could even walk. That kind of way. And we're actually doing it.
I get what you're saying, right? I've had some form of depression since I'm 12. Right, I've checked into my family, and one thing about me nanny, and I love her dearly, is whenever she got upset about things, she went to the bed. And you might have heard that. In Irish culture, they used to go to the bed.
It wasn't done in Ireland.
It wasn't. But
You know
then
what I
you
mean?
could do it in other ways, like you can put yourself in a dangerous situation, you can do it. And I have always had that there. So that it's like, is the monster over there or is the monster behind me? Or am I right now the monster? Because I found I had to learn to change how I reacted to things.
Yeah,
because
powerful.
I was reacting from a trauma perspective.
Yeah.
If you start giving me shit, I was hyper on top of you. I had to be.
That's me.
And I had to do that. And I'm going, and then I take back now today and I say, why did I give them people my energy? And another thing, I know what you're saying about like getting up in the morning and the whole lot. But there is people out there right now in that state. Just because they get out of bed doesn't mean they're okay. Because what you will find is if during depressive times you're on survival mode.
Yeah.
So people tell me about stuff I used to do or I'll be around and the whole lot. It's gone. It's somewhere in the back of the head. Because at the time I was just trying to get straight up that road.
One
You know what I
step
mean?
ahead of the other.
And that's the thing. Like it's always different for each person.
Yeah,
And
it's hard when you know what I mean, when we were saying earlier a lot of depressive tendencies and stuff can be situational, but then when I found out about my granny and stuff 2 years ago, I was like,
makes sense.
you're thinking geez, my background was a lie, because I thought she died and I was in the hospital, I visited her, and you're kind of thinking, and then it's kind of it's making sense then in a way. It's like, all right, so that's why there's a lot of it in my family. Because it's not only situational, it's fucking genetically there as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It can be actually, yeah.
So, but you don't want to find yourself then thinking as well that, it's inevitable because of my family background.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want to get caught up in that kind of, I'm going to have this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that is a thing that plays on my head. Does history will repeat itself? I remember, when I was a kid, I watched my uncle have a brain hemorrhage. And if you ever watch someone have a brain hemorrhage, it's literally someone drunk. It's someone falling around drunk. And I remember that had a huge effect on me. Because I saw the father I knew change. And I was only looking back pictures of him. Something had changed in him.
Yeah.
Do you know that way? But there's also I was looking at old photos recently and I seen pictures when I was a little kid. And I had nothing but a smile on my face. And then I see pictures when I'm 6 or 7 and the smile's gone and do you get me?
Yeah,
and that is the thing that people are getting secondhand trauma as well. And you're always thinking in your head, do I become what happened? And then it feels like no matter how much you fight the inevitability, you're ending up in there. And that's when people give up and say, I might as well go with that.
Yeah.
Do you know that way?
Well,
It happens a lot with alcoholics that you joke like a Georgie Best. His mother was an alcoholic that drank herself to death. It was like...
Well, it's like that old saying where they go...
He couldn't help himself to become what his mother was.
Yeah, it's like that.
But you can break that.
You can break it, and people do, but...
They tend to
it's
see
so
the keep going with what
hard
they see.
to
It's
break.
like that.
It's like a little belief in your head that you were always going to be because I know it's I think Miss was saying to me about she's involved in little women's groups and all. They're saying when we were kids we did this without thinking, And then it's what happens is you're free and you're idealistic, and people just keep knocking you down. And some of the things they were knocking you down was, as you said, was jealousy. They saw good in you, like, where then I became this person, whereas if you hate me, I'm going to achieve what I'm going to do. Because I was like, if someone doesn't hate you, you're not doing it right in life. Because they hate, if they didn't hate you, you're not on their radar.
They hate the fact that you're just there, that you're visible. A lot of it on me as well. They hate the fact that they wouldn't dare do half the shit I do. And then they're like, but a fella in a wheelchair can fucking do it as well, which irks them even more. And it's like that thing we were on about there, the alcoholism and all this stuff. It goes back to that old story where there's two sons. One's an alcoholic, one doesn't touch drink. And they were both asked, and they answered the same question. Why don't you drink? Why do you drink? Because my father was an alcoholic.
Yes. I heard a good one was, they said the hero and the villain have a very similar origin story. It's just how they responded to it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we like to think ourselves over one camp, where usually there's this massive grey area.
Yeah, humans are not black and white. They're like, evil people do very nice things.
I thought we were black and white.
I was waiting on that. And nice people do horrible things. You know, and it's like the old saying, like, it takes a village to raise a child, but it also takes a village to heal a fucking traumatic teenager, let's say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's like something Dean said at the start. I know you're a father. I have 2 kids. I want my kids, like Dean said, to be better than me.
Yeah.
I don't want them to have to struggle, mental health, money-wise. I want them to be as best I can. So anything I can pass on to them. And one thing I do not want to pass on is the depression, is the anxiety. Waking up every day,
trust me,
knowing that I have this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I used to work. It's what you just said right now, which is very, very deep. I used to think like you. Then I said to myself, it maybe is the fact I think that way that's making me sad. Maybe the fact I'm worried about my kids having a better life than me. That's actually drowning me down because I'm worrying too much about my kids' future. Why don't I just live life and live that as a gift for them? And don't worry about their lifestyle. I'm just going to be there to guide them. I just want to live my life. I want to like have the best crack. And whatever happens, because the regret of not trying is harder than the regret of not trying. Yeah. So like, you know, at the end of the day, when I'm done what I have to do, they can look at me like, man, this fella's a mad fucker. He went for it. That's what they can learn. That's when you're gone. What did they know about their father? He didn't give a fuck. He was nice to us, but he did what he had to do. So that's why I'm just thinking in my head today. I'm like, you know what? Instead of me worrying that way, instead of me worrying about my children or worrying about my team, I better off for me to give them a better life, a better future. Let me look after myself right now and do what I got to do. Yeah.
You know, that's a great thing.
That's why I started doing that counselling, man. I said it, like, I have to start looking after myself.
You have to.
Am I the only one then that wants to be remembered as a miserable, hate-filled cunt?
At least you live in something.
I want people to think like, he made a great old sketch, but he was
if anyone will ever think of disability in Ireland,
God, he's dead. Good luck.
Don't think about you, because you're making disability look like do you know what kind of positivity you're bringing to the disability world? Like, I just think, for example, I'm just saying, if I see anyone on wheelchair doing cool fun, I just think about you, because you're the first guy I've seen that's so funny. I say go.
They'd be disappointed, because what if you meet someone in the wheelchair and they're not funny?
Yeah.
Like, Stevo's funny.
Poking them.
You're shit.
Tell a joke.
I used to wonder how Stevo used to be so positive. I'm like, how is this so deadly? Until one day I went online and I see this motherfucker going live, drinking, driving. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, that is crazy, man. Then I realized, man, at the end of the day, like, life is the way it is. It's all about how you just handle it, man. It comes and it goes. You just have to ride with it. You just have to like enjoy it, because no one in this world is perfect. In the Bible, when Jesus Christ was chilling and they were about to stone this.
I never heard Jesus Christ described as chilling.
Yeah,
I've never heard that.
Because he was actually chilling.
Jesus was gangbanging one night.
Jesus was chilling with Mary Magdalene.
And I don't mean that. Jesus Christ, we're going down the road of fucking heretic.
You know, he was chilling. Because I watched the movie actually when I was a kid. He was kind of drawing stuff on the ground there, having a crack, drawing stuff, and they were trying to stone this prostitute to death. And this
damn straight.
Yeah, they were literally about to stone her. And they're like, and they saw him done, and they're like, come here, Jesus, what do you think we should do to her? And he just looked up. He goes, any of yous without sin, cast your first stone. And he went back doing his own thing. And they had this stone in their hand, and they thought to themselves, sure, we all sin. We've done something bad in our life at some stage, you know what? So she's not like.
That's the benefit of being Catholic. You can go in, confess it, and you haven't sinned. It's gone.
Or get
You should have the confession
or get
box.
signaled by the priest.
You're never gonna wait. So see that part is the most powerful part for me as well in the Bible as well. Because talk about judging, it talks about judging ourselves as well. Because at the end of this day, we're all fucking criminals. At one stage or the other, we've done something. I don't know anyone in this world. Watch me speak for myself. Everyone has done something bad in their life. And it might be small, it might be big. We all go in the same category. That kind of way. So we just have to live our life and just enjoy every single piece of it. As long as our intention is good, you're trying to, like, the other day I got in trouble because I wore a GA t-shirt in fucking Shankill, and I literally
What a what?
Yeah.
What a what?
Yeah.
Do you know what you should have went down with? A Celtic jersey. Era 32 across.
I know.
That would have went really well.
Hey, come here, listen. I wasn't even
I
going
come on stage with a Rangers jersey over in a Celtic gig.
See, only me and you can actually like live life like that. No, it's not like I'm not part of any
See, I won't
group.
get attacked because they'll be like, I'm not going to hit a cripple.
Same here, they won't hit a black
You
man. Listen,
kind of keep pushing it, don't you?
Oh, you have to.
If I did now, you get stoned to
I
death.
had a sash as well.
we should go together as a team. A black and a cripple. You can't that's racism. And that's no, but
Is that your
everyone.
Netflix show? A black and a cripple.
Oh man, come
The
here.
original non-copy.
Yeah, exactly. At least I can claim for disability somehow. But anyway, you can actually like, it's crazy because I can go, like, I went there and I did a video there and people were giving out to me about that. Say, why will you wear a GA t-shirt in Shankill, man? You're a mad bastard. But
Yeah, there is GAA clubs, hurling clubs in Shankill.
East Belfast,
In East Belfast. Kids are kids.
You understand?
Yeah.
Billy Wright used to play GA. If Billy Wright had lived a different existence, he would have gone.
Most of the Northern Unionist founders would have spoke Irish.
Irish, yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know any of this history. But I'm just
It's
It's when things split off.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we even
yeah.
see it in America now with like with a performer, whether they're a Democrat
or
a
Republican.
Republican.
no way.
I don't care. I don't care what Robert De Niro politics is. I like him in a movie.
But people's
That's where I
opinions
am.
will change then straight away. When they find out, oh, this fella's funny, and they find out he's a Republican or Democrat, and then they go, no, I don't like him.
You're joking
Because
me.
they're told that because of his
Whoa.
political persuasion,
This
you're
is
not
why I
meant
don't
to
get
like
into
him
politics,
anymore.
bro.
And you can see the psychology change.
You
It's
see, I think that's
crazy.
something interesting, and it's that if you don't fit into like a set group, people don't know how to deal with you. Do you know that way?
That is
Yeah.
deep. What
That
you just said,
is
right?
it, man.
See, like, you're talking about me right now.
Yeah, I'm talking about us all.
Because
You don't fit in
I
a
don't
set
fit.
group.
I don't fit in a certain group. Some
Yeah.
people don't know how to deal with
I don't
me.
know where to place
You know what I mean? Like, exactly.
I don't want to place
Because
you.
I'm just that guy. I'm just that guy. That's the Black Paddy. Is he Irish or even the African people still don't know what to do with me? Like, is he Irish or is he African? Like, I'm just anywhere. I'm for the people. I'm that guy
You're
who.
being you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Every
And that's the way to
person is a
describe it.
collection
Yeah.
of multiple things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there was a great one in Rocky. If you stay too long in a place, you become that place. And that is true to life. Do you know that way? And everybody is a collection of things. Like I understand, like people you're saying about positivity, but like I think sometimes there's a toxic positivity. That you just say everything is great, everything is great.
You're living
Sometimes you
deluded.
have to be honest.
Yeah.
I had a friend from what they call it Persia, but then they call it Iran. And he had a great phrase, and he says, "A good friend will stab you." So basically, a good friend will tell you when you're wrong.
Yeah, tell you the truth. Yeah.
And I remember like some of the looking back, some of them like what looked the most positive in my life to other people wasn't positive for me, because you really need someone that says, I think you're doing this too long.
that's
or
not
you're-"
involved.
You know what I mean?
An outside
a
I get it.
perspective.
That's actually
Yeah.
true. I have a friend actually came with my friend always come over to me and he's like, "Oh, you're doing this too wrong," and I've always literally like call him a hater. I'm like, you just don't like me progressing. But then I now look back into things and I realize that fuck, no one has actually come to my face and said that to me in my face apart from him. So this guy literally is a real one. Because he's literally coming to my face telling me, "Black Paddy, come here." Because actually, I'll tell you what he said the other day, right? He came over to me, he goes, "Oh, Black Paddy, why is it that every pub you go to, you give everything a fucking 10 out of 10? You need to be real. Like, you need to start tell people how it is. Like, if you go to a pub and you try the Guinness, if it's not good, be out straight. Say it's fucking 8, 0.5. You don't have to be horrible, but be out
But
straight
you
and be
mean
real.
10 out of 10, you weren't actually, you were just kind of saying, oh, you had a great time.
Yeah,
So for
yeah,
me at that
yeah,
time, it
that's
was 10 out of
exactly
10.
what I was trying to say.
When I walk in at 2 o'clock in the morning, the outfits are leaving because they've spent all their money on the horses. And I'm like, this was a 10 out of 10.
And you're bottling the barman.
So that's where I'm actually coming from. That's what I'm trying to explain. But I'm trying to explain to people. I'm counting the crack, the gaggle, the fun, and everything. Atmosphere. It's not about the Guinness. It's about the atmosphere.
Thing.
That's why I give places I go to 10 out of 10. And if I go to a place and I feel like I'm not a bit welcome, I'm going to give them a 9.5, and hopefully they understand that. But that's just.
So it's only like 0.5.
Sure. Welcome.
So the scale really is 9 to 10.
It's all about the cracking. That's what I'm saying to you. But that's
And do you
What
smoke
if they don't let you in the door? Did you go down to an 8?
This crack you talk about, do you smoke it or inject it?
Well, it depends on how you want to take it. We're talking about, but I don't do that anymore, man. It's too expensive. But I was gonna say, that's what I'm saying. I like people like that around me. Someone that can come to my face and tell me, you know what, whatever you're doing is this. But don't go on social media and tell the world how shit you are or how bad you are. Like it doesn't make anything. It doesn't make the world a better place.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever watched someone's video on my timeline and decided to comment.
Me neither.
I just don't understand the psychology.
I might not like the video personally. I might watch a video and
I scroll on.
I'll just scroll on and be like, you know what, this is not worth my time. You know, that kind of way. And I think this is the reason why a lot of people are afraid
to be angry, man. That's what it is, right? If I serve great coffee, right, and it's great coffee all the time, it's horrible for some people because they want to complain about the coffee. They want to be. It's like the bush shelter. The bush shelter gets smashed in. It's terrible. They won't fix the bush shelter, right? And they will go on about 5 years. The election comes up. They want the councillor in. I want that bush shelter sorted, right? The day they fix that bush shelter, they go, what do I talk about now? The weather shit, isn't it? They have
Thank
to move
God
on
for
to
our shit weather.
Everyone has to have an opinion about something, especially when it comes to people who are able to put up stuff on social media. Like I notice myself, when I put stuff up, that's what you go. You go look for the likes and the comments and who likes this, who doesn't like this. I know you two will have that an awful lot.
I do that a lot, bro, which I need to stop. My missus said to me, when you post a video, just go.
Yeah, I
but
tend not. I've taught myself not to read them.
I can't do that.
The only thing is, though, someone will leave a negative comment, and then they'll not only do that, but then they'll email you. They'll message you on Instagram. They'll message you on Twitter. They'll leave a comment on Twitter. It gets obsessive. So. Yeah, it's obsessive.
You see, they probably hate it because they don't find you funny, right? And
they
somebody
hate that
around finds them funny.
Yeah.
That's that Mrs. Brown's Boys thing thinking, I don't like
I
Mrs.
used to
Brown's
answer-
Boys, so you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Well,
I used to
enjoying this.
answer like, well, your mother loves my sketches, so.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Well, that was people like, wasn't it?
And I think social media put fears into me as well. That's why sometimes I put a video up and you see the way you can live it up. I can't because social media put so much fear into me. Say, right? I make money off social media. I don't have a normal day job. I make money off social media, and I take social media so seriously. The amount of time Facebook has demonetized me for putting content online that might not even be that bad. I'm not even going I'm not going against any community standard here.
Because people report.
People reporting because they don't like what they see, and Facebook would take my monetization off, and that affects me and the fact that that's how I used to provide bread for the family. So whenever I put posts on Facebook nowadays, I have to be there for a good 20 minutes to see if it's okay.
You're scared that
because I'm worried, because I'm stressed out. I don't want this to go down. I'm not worried about. I'm worried about two things: my monetization and two, people commenting negative stuff. So posting on social media already is giving me anxious feeling just already as it is. I can't post. So,
and you get in the mindset then where you don't even want to do it.
Do you understand?
It became a fucking a glorious thing.
I'm afraid of putting my own content online. So social media plays a huge step coming to mind games and depression and anxiety.
That's what's the best thing in the world, but it's the worst as well.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm just being real. A lot of content creators will relate to me when I say this. Like, people see content creators doing well, having millions of likes, but do you know that
not
mindset?
seeing the stuff in the background.
Keep that.
I hate the phrase though. I hate the phrase content creator.
Yeah. Oh man.
Because everyone creates content in some way, shape, or form.
OnlyFans.
I'm on that too.
Preach.
Get the lad out for fun.
You know, so it plays a very it plays a very
only cakes today.
only cakes.
Only cakes.
Only
and
shams.
You know, fuck it. We just have to like see a way of like, you know, like how we can live as a society and be helpful as a society. When you see someone doing something, maybe starting off
Conflict is easier.
A certain business, support the
Hate
person.
is easier though, isn't it?
But hate is easier. That's
We're
the
more
thing.
comfortable with hate because, as we were saying, Irish people have a difficulty exploring their emotions.
Like-
So to hate someone is like, I went to Boston and I was in the parade and like I was waving and people were like waving and recording and there was no negative comment. And it was such a weird thing to be surrounded by thousands of people.
I'm going to
and
America, baby.
And no one
That's a
said
good
it nasty.
spot,
If
Nelson.
I drove down the street in the St. Patrick's Day parade in Galway and recorded what people are saying, it would be unbelievable to someone's ears.
Isn't just like
It
is that just an Irish thing or what?
it is. No, I don't really like the man, but it is what Bono said. It is an American walks by the big house and says, "I want that." Do you know what I mean? I want to be that guy. The Irishman walks, go, "Yeah, fuck him."
Yeah.
And that's why we are resentful. But I think there's a balance somewhere in there. There's an idea that I want to be the big man on the big house and have it all.
Yeah.
But
see,
I
that's-
think you've moved yourself away
Yeah.
from other stuff.
But
So
see,
I
it
think
goes
there's some kind of balance to live between.
It goes into Irish history as well, though, doesn't it?
It does.
The person doing good was collaborating
Took
with the
the
Brits.
soup.
So the fella that was doing good and had the big
That's
house,
what it is.
there was a
It's
there was a
even happening
nefarious
now.
thing behind that.
Even
he was
now.
yeah. So
Because you're like you in your local town, there's the politicians that doing very well and their minibuses and you look into county councils all over Ireland, you will see councillors and TDs machinery being rented to that council. And
Yeah.
And everybody hates that. But like, how do you get rid of that? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? They were willing to reduce what they cared about to get their ultimate gain.
yeah.
And that's what we always say. Like, it's like you're going to have to sacrifice some of yourself.
The people
But how
get-
much of yourself are you going to sacrifice?
The people get the
And
government
that's a
they
hard
deserve,
one,
as they say. You know what I mean?
That
like
is-
we have decent politicians out there, but obviously the media cycles in against them, and you know people believe
Here's
it.
the thing with all that. The system changes you. You don't change the system. Every
Yeah.
person thinks to go in and change. I know because
Yeah.
I was involved in a few things years ago, and everybody thinks they're going to change the system. The system starts changing you. But
Yeah.
that idea in politics is the same as you were saying in social media, because it's kind of like you want to change things, but then they say, "Ah, no, you can't say that. You
Yeah.
can't say that." And by the time they get you up there, you have lost all your freedom, all your independence.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Like the
You
early
know
days
what
of
I mean?
Facebook was glorious, man.
Bro, when we started
Throw
Facebook,
up a video, you could
there
say
was no
anything,
censorship.
and it was
Oh
just,
my god, that was
and-
when I
and
loved
there was-
social media, bro.
and you didn't have to fight for views. You
Oh
just
my
knew you were
God.
going to get like 1 million views.
Oh,
Throw up the video,
wow.
1 million.
Even better on
And it was
Facebook, Bebo.
Baby,
Oh my
I wasn't
Jesus
doing it that
Christ.
long ago.
Yeah,
I've been
that's
doing this
gone
since,
back.
man. I've been doing this since literally high five, Bebo, man, long time, man. Bro, I was one of the first.
day.
I was one of the first main creator in Ireland before Stevo. It was me.
You were, yeah.
It was me. It was me, King Toomey. It was me, King Toomey, and who else was James Donnelly? He's a politician now. He's actually,
Yeah, James Donnelly, he's
a
not the politics now,
He's not-
yeah.
There was 3 of us then that was sending social media back then.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, man. I was when things was.
You were still standing more. So
Bruh, man, I love that. I love content creator, you know. And Rory Stories, yes, and Rory Stories.
Stories.
When did you start?
And Rory, bro, 2004, 2005, 2000, long time, man. I can't remember, man. Long time, when, like, literally when I was really young doing content, man. I used to remember doing pranks in Cork City.
Hawk.
Yeah, Cork City. I'm gonna hold
He's
the
still
rope.
laughing there.
Oh, man.
Did you miss that joke?
It was the most funniest thing. It was interesting back then doing Facebook videos, and years ago when I started doing
The
Facebook.
reaction was real then because they didn't know they were going
You know-
to be on.
Yeah.
You know,
I
Now
loved
people
it.
know.
No, people want better. People want
Yeah.
better than what
Yeah.
you've already
Yeah.
done. They want to see more. And if it's not as good as your last one, right? So.
No, it's shit
You
now.
know
He's
what?
shit, yeah.
Oh, bro.
Like I remember the reactions when I first started putting them up because it wasn't like this is a comedy sketch. It was like, oh, his wife is really recording him and he doesn't know. And
That's what I
loved
first saw when I
that.
seen you.
Yeah, I love that because that not only it kind of relayed to me that, yeah, this is good because people are believing that it's actually a person. So I'm doing good characterization. You know what I mean?
That was so interesting, man.
People only see the little intersection. It's like your work, John. They only see that 5-10 seconds, and that's it. They don't
That
see
takes
what's
months to
behind
prep
it.
that.
Yeah.
Our favourite comedies, our favourite films, we see that little 2 minutes on screen,
That's what-
and we
that-
forget how much goes into that.
That's what-
It took to
Like
create that.
I couldn't say that. Like I don't plan them too well, but I'd always say that my whole life leads up to that because all the people I would have met, farmers along the way, and boggers, and kind of they're all an amalgamation of like you know into that character. Like, and the character's changed anyway. There's about 5 different characters. You know what I mean? The voice has changed so many times that it's not even recognisable to the early ones. You know what I mean?
So when's Farmer Michael going bougie?
He wouldn't even know what that is. He'd think that's some kind of vaginal wash.
That's actually so crazy, man. Because what you said is actually true. Because I remember, like, you know, when I want to do my video of my cameraman, I have me. I travel to the town. I do my research. Where should I visit? Where's the best Guinness in the town? Where's where?
It's always about the Guinness, isn't it?
Oh man.
What about the
it-
whores? Do you visit the whores?
No, I don't visit the horse. I should actually.
That's not a proper
I should actually get that involved with it too, but just Guinness is just my thing.
Do you know, right?
10 out of 10.
A while ago, I was out with me missus. I was out with me missus and our friend and her whole fella, right? So we were chatting away. But what came up on the topic of conversation, she turned around and goes, "Oh, but do you watch the Guinness man?" I was like, "Who's the Guinness man?" "You know, your man who goes around trying the Guinness." I'm like, "Who are you talking about?" "Oh, hang on, I'll show you." Gee, I was like, "He's not the Guinness man. What are you talking about?" Like, that's Black Paddy.
The T-shirt.
He goes around trying Guinness all the
Like the
time.
yes symbol, but Guinness man.
No, there's a Guinness
I'm
man
the
in
Guinness
Ireland.
man.
Shout out to the Guinness guru. He's a Guinness man. I'm not a Guinness man. I'm just having a crack, you know.
Here you take, there's a thing, right? Like when I watch people, it's so much as trends. You were at the time saying, I want to try the Guinness and they do this and try it in different places and the crack and the laugh. There's so many people doing that now.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you
yeah.
say it, it's people go, "Oh."
Yeah, I know.
You know what I
There's-
mean?
there's-
Every
there's-
idea
The
gets...
big thing now is people testing food.
Oh,
And I would rather give up everything I do and never. I had a conversation there one day about what I done in the early days and being turned down for a lot of stuff. Like I remember one day, one of the high ups in Lufthansa was an Irishman. He was from Mayo, and they were going to pay me handsomely to do it, what would a commercial like gig for him for his leave and do or whatever.
Big company,
Yeah. But the devil inside of me wanted to shoot myself in the foot. So the day after, I done a video about Hitler invading Mayo, and I lost it straight away. But I loved it. I loved the fact that, because to me it was a cool inside joke, and I loved the fact that I lost that money because I got a fucking lovely feeling of jeopardising it. And Lufthansa is a German company, obviously. So like, I love that feeling of doing it.
But when you
And
talk
money
about depression,
doesn't
you
pay
have
for
to
that.
talk about County Mayo.
Oh, yeah.
People permanently depressed, aren't
Yeah. Same in many parts of Galway as
they?
well.
They really are.
The West is the best.
We're going to do it this year.
We just have, in Galway,
Your man's gone. He's
we
dead.
have a lot of like
We'll win
Mayo,
it this year.
in Galway we have a lot of like Mayo refugees, you know what I mean? My own mother was one of them, like, escaped the Civil War in 1980.
Oh, I've never heard of that many
But
refugees.
like
is
saying
funny,
that though, like when I'm older, I'm going to remember the Lufthansa sketch failure more so than the money I would have got from that sketch. And that's the payment. If you're only making videos from financial gain, you're morally fucking corrupt and you don't deserve to be in this game.
No.
And
that's
when I've
actually
seen
true.
people do
That
it,
is
and it's
deep
so
what you just
easy to
said.
do because you look at the algorithm, it's like trends. And it's like this, follow this trend, follow that trend. And when you follow so many trends and you don't actually have your own interest in it, it just becomes like everything else. Like I remember watching the John Wick films and I was like, that kung fu is brilliant. I think that's fantastic. Really enjoying it. Now it's in everything. Medieval dramas they're doing kung fu.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're going to go, I don't think this is what Nottingham was like in
This is not
1488.
historic.
He doesn't suit it.
And then comes an Asian Elvis. I don't want to be a tiger.
If you go to Vegas, you will see the best Irish analysis.
Oh, this is too funny, man.
They give it socks, man.
Oh, bro. It's
The
crazy.
best.
It's crazy how social media actually can turn things around in life and everything. But at the same time, it has helped so many people, especially me during the lockdown when I thought everything is gone and no more stand-up comedy
Everything
anymore.
was gone for a while.
Yeah, you know, look at but he worked in my favor.
Yeah.
He actually worked in my favor. That's when things was
It
going
had
on
a
for me.
huge
I'm like,
effect on the whole COVID, man, because I've noticed with people now, they thought be selfish to yourself, to protect yourself and your relatives around you and whatever. I'm not going out in COVID thing, but people are more standoffish. I noticed one of the things that annoyed me about COVID was when you walk down the road, people would expect you to walk around them. So their social distance was porn. And now COVID, well, it's still there, like, in the whole lot. But people are still like that. They're standoffish.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
afraid. People have got into
imagine
that mindset.
Imagine the impact it has had on young kids and socialization.
COVID babies are meant to kind of
That's where
be
my
very not social.
that's where my fortune came along because of COVID, man. Let me tell you, like, holy shit.
man.
Boredom.
Yeah.
Nothing else to do.
I
COVID.
should have just watched Chucky that night and got it done it all.
I have so many
Baby
COVID
radio.
babies right now, so it's all right. I know how to deal with those
But
kids.
yeah, there is positive social media, but there's also like
Yeah.
bad negatives.
Yeah, it's
Like I have a former partner, and I only found out like 2 weeks ago that supposedly I'm a convicted stalker. And she's up making all these videos and saying that she has evidence and everything. And it's nonsense.
Shocking, man.
But I'm getting messages and I'm getting emails. Oh, I heard you abused your ex and shit. And I'm like, and you know my ex.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, what, like, where did, like, I was actually, like, it was 2 Mondays ago, like, and I actually woke up and I was like, why are you doing this? Where is this coming out of? Like, this is nonsense. And you're spreading this crap and then deleting the video. But like, you know the old
People
thing,
have
like
seen it regardless
allegations
anyway.
go out. If you allege someone done something horrible, it's shit like that sticks. And it's
Oh,
like,
man, it does.
I remember there was a
so I've had to get in touch with my solicitor and everything to like, it's insane.
I remember there was a Dublin footballer and he got accused of something years ago. And I walked by his pub and that man's gone. And that little information about him always sticks in my head.
yeah.
And I'm not saying the man did it or didn't.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? But it'll always stick. And I think that's the thing that people don't realise what is addictive in life. Because we always assume it's the same things, drink, drugs, and then we're saying food and da. But attention for some people.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
people, if you give them attention, it doesn't matter if it's good and bad. They're outside the pub, a Mariah comes out, they get arrested. They're loving that because they've attention.
That's what someone said to me, that like anytime she had mentioned me in any of her TikToks, that's when they do good. So they wanted like,
Well, you need to get that
but it's
situation
annoying.
sorted because
Yeah.
that's like first, like, you know, she's damaging your image by saying that kind of thing.
She said like, I was convicted. I was brought to court that she's a restraining order against me and all, and it's nonsense.
That is no, you don't need that.
And
in
it's
your
like
life, man.
4 years ago.
Whoa.
And it's like, you dumped me. Like, you wouldn't mind if it was the other way around and she was being, you know, nasty, but then again she has like bad mental health issues, and it's like, what the fuck do you do?
Oh, I'm sorry
but
to
you
hear
can't
that,
be
bro.
saying shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially when there's like, it didn't happen. You know what I mean?
Nah,
And it's horrible because I was actually good to her, and it's hard. It's worse then. If I was a prick, I'd accept it.
Man,
I
sorry,
think
that
there's
is
a big
crazy,
problem
man.
in one of the big problems in society, and you were talking about responsibility and all this, is it's people being responsible for their things. I think people are thinking from the front of that, right? They just do whatever gives them a quick release, and they don't think about the consequences. Because I found in life that if, for instance, there is no consequences for a situation, people act the bollocks. They purely...
It's the old thing, take away the guards and you'll soon
Just
see the
keep out
collapse.
warriors. They can type what they want and get away with it.
And you see some of them in town, then they nearly shit themselves. They go pale white, and I'm rolling by in a wheelchair, and they're like,
You have to think about the hate they have.
because I'd still pump
themselves.
them out after them. I don't give a shit.
But they think about the hate they have in their house. That they're sitting there.
Yeah.
They spend 2 hours a day thinking to say something
follow
mean
and,
to you.
and
Do you know what I mean?
emails and everything.
And emails and hoping to bring you down. And I think that's always the thing.
If they put that time and effort into something like their kids or their wife or something, you could have a better life. You know what I mean? That 2 hours of stalking me, go out and have a wank or something. Do something productive.
I can just imagine. I can just imagine the ad campaign. Don't stop people.
Piggyback.
Have a wank. know what I mean?
If that's the case,
Don't be
if that's the case, I'm going to be the most well-behaved
What they're
citizen.
stalking you and
Because
doing
the amount
that.
of wank I do be having every
That's
evening.
fucking disturbing. You fucking.
I'm going to be calm. That's why I'm very calm, because I have so many wanks, you know what I mean? I'm so... My personality is just calm. Why you calm? I wank every evening. That's why I'm actually grand. There's no sperm left to me anymore.
The wanky paddy.
Oh, man.
You just keep giving yourself different names, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
man, it's crazy. I don't even, wanking doesn't even interest me anymore.
The fat paddy.
I've run out of porn to watch in these days. I'm done now.
The old farmers will give it to you down Connemara. Oh, they have the good tapes.
Well,
They have the good tapes. Do you have anything with a goat
I'm
in it,
looking
do
for,
you?
I'm looking for a good farmer.
She
beer
took
now.
her turn there the last day. I seen it. I was over in Thailand and I seen that day a videotape, and there was a goat in it. And by
Oh, Jesus Christ, bro.
they went at her in the wooden shaft. Bukkake, I think it's called, or something like that. Load of black lads standing up.
He had a bit of a beard going on, so.
Oh, terrible thing. Isn't it?
Oh,
Nice to
Jesus.
watch now on a Thursday.
Oh, man, it's crazy. But
So,
it's true. Like, it's actually very, very true.
That's not true. What are you?
No, I mean it's true. Like, you know,
I
like
know, I know.
what I mean is true. I mean, like, you know,
What farmers
sex,
having tapes of
sex,
khakis?
sex plays,
Khaki goats.
it plays a role with emotions. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it does. Like, you know,
When you're
what I
not
mean?
getting it.
No, that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah,
If you're not
take
get-
it.
If you're not getting all the time, it
She
can,
won't get
it can
Jesus,
affect-
edit that out.
it can affect the head, especially as a man. If I'm married to a woman and I haven't had sex with her for a long time, it will affect my mind mentally. That means that will make me want to go out and cheat, you know. But if I
Jesus, you have no restraint.
what you mean I'm not restrained? What you mean?
She didn't give it to me in 15 minutes.
What you mean? What you mean? It's not about having restraint. It's about being with someone, and even when you get married, the priest says, "For better or worse, till death do you part." So it means whatever happens, you deserve to get sex every day. If you're married, we're supposed to have sex every day. But sometimes women.
It stops when you get married.
It doesn't stop.
Jesus Christ.
It gets better.
Because 2.5 years waiting
You
for
guys,
it one time.
you guys can switch roles. You can switch roles. You can, you know, that kind of way. So
The
that's
dog was getting nervous. I'm
No, come here. I don't care. If I'm married to a woman,
Ruby!
No. If I'm married to a woman, I need to get my hole every fucking day. Every fucking day, the Black Paddy should be getting his hole, because at the end of the day, if I'm married to you,
Multiple wives, because I don't think I see that one.
no, there's no. Come here, get a beautiful beer from Tala. Trust me, she can take
I'm
it.
from Daly.
Oh, come here. You should be happy, so you're surrounded by them. But like at the end of the day,
Surrounded like Native Americans are everything.
At the end of the day, if you're not getting that stuff every day, it will affect you mentally. You see some men going around sometimes all grumpy and all because
I get what you're saying.
They're not fucking getting it.
Frustrated.
Yeah, exactly. So at the end of the day,
Happens women as well. Some go around
relationship-
frustrated.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Gymnastic thing, people always say teenage
so
girls.
Would you ride like a rabbit if you're going every day?
intimacy plays a big role. It plays a big role. So
We should just go all get in a pile and ride each other.
oh, come here.
Like in South Park.
Oh, come here. If that can happen.
Gerard.
Why do you think most animals in the jungle, they don't really get depressed because they just see each other and be like, oh yeah, just start riding straight away. There's no dates, nothing, just jump on it.
No.
Yeah.
I haven't met depressed animals.
No.
There was ducks, right?
Oh,
They were
jeez,
the
them
little
ducks are horny fuckers, though.
And one duck, the other ducks wouldn't talk to him. And one of the fellas in works goes, he's a lonely duck. He says sometimes you'll have a
That's the
lonely duck.
makings of,
Duck doesn't get
that's the
up.
makings of a book, isn't it? The lonely duck. Teach a cat.
That's what I'm saying to you, you know what I mean? But it does play.
Yeah, but in the animal world, you can't replicate it because I tried that and I was in jail for a long time. They don't like surprise sex.
Those are factors that help. So if you have the chance to go on, send it.
No, we got that. We got that macho.
We got that off our chest today.
That can help.
That was our sex education. Come back next week for another one.
Sponsored by Durex condoms.
Once a day is mandatory.
And even-
mandatory.
And if you're looking for a large condom, go to Tala Pharmacy. You get some of them in Tala.
And the fine women in Tala.
I'm from Tala now, and everyone from Tala's gonna be looking at me saying, "What are you talking about us women like that for?" Lads,
well,
give
you
it.
Dirty scumbag.
Tala women, they're the most hardest women.
He doesn't live out with Tala, so
No.
he knows he's safe.
No.
He only pops in and pops out.
Tala girls are the most hardest girls to fucking get. Because I've tried to date one of them.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
You don't want it. You don't need it.
I've
Don't
tried to date
avoid
them.
that.
Headbutt you and take it.
I remember one time I was trying to be romantic to a Tala girl. I went on the phone. I rang her. I was like,
you
all
ring
right,
her?
all right. I was like, all right, Shauna, come here. If you're cooking, send us the aroma. If you're crying, send me the tears. If you're singing, send me the song. And she goes, I'm in the toilet. What shall I send you?
See you later.
Okay.
See you later,
When
Shauna.
Sir Galway is a long way.
What I'm trying to say, basically, she was in the toilet. She was
I know, we're just
trying
messing.
to send me a bit of,
Oh, Jesus.
Not every joke is going to hit
Well,
Fabu.
do you know what? If you had a foot fetish, that would have been all right.
I
It was just
know.
up to your feet.
I'm not a big foot fetish now. You know that kind of. I don't know
I
why.
have a foot fetish, it's just because I'm jealous of other people that can walk.
I'm the most weirdest guy ever when it comes to fetish. I don't like foot
A leg fetish.
I don't like blowjobs. I don't like different kind of stuff. I just like to go straight to the point.
You're a
That's me.
sick man.
No, what you mean sick man? I'm just a man who like.
Straight to the point once a day.
That's
Yeah.
it.
The
You
PING.
Superman, you commercial.
No prep, nothing. Just go straight into the diving stuff. You know yourself. Jive with it, baby.
Good stuff.
Just
Oh man, I don't think you mean Duncan stuff.
Yeah.
That's like
If I was a goat around you, I'd be very nervous.
that would be a nervous go.
I'll be nervous. Go. Why will you be
The
nervous?
lonely duck and the nervous goat.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
New
man.
Ladybird edition.
You guys,
That sounds like a good shoot.
you guys,
Yeah,
you guys
doesn't
need to
it?
get active. Eat more banana.
And it's all about the farmer trying to get his hands on on the nervous goat.
Oh, now I see why they say.
Freddy, the nervous
Now
goat,
now
woke up this
now I see
morning.
why they say once you go black, you never go back. This is it. This is it.
Right, so that's been interesting. So before we kind of start wrapping it up, because realistically time is not our ally at the minute now. But look, before I wrap it up, Brian, I'm going to ask you each one question, and I don't want anyone to kind of interrupt each other or out like that. Yeah,
Right.
And I want you to be from the heart when I ask you. So, John, do you feel better after having this podcast?
I
Do you
do.
feel a bit more relief?
I think it's the situation and the topic is so serious, but like 5 of us sat here and we got
But you
serious.
personally, do you feel better?
I feel better. We had a laugh, we had a joke, but we were still very serious about the topic.
Paul, you?
Me, I quite don't know what to think, but I think.
With tears in his eyes.
But the all honesty thing, this is what happens when you get blokes put down in mental health. They reveal a few things. Everybody's kind of zones onto each other, has a discussion. There's a shared moments, and then it becomes chaos.
Crack.
No, yourself, Fabu.
But I do feel
Do you
that.
feel like a bit more relief after
Well,
doing
I would
this?
like to honestly, I'm really happy. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. I feel so good just the fact that I can speak to you guys. I can relate to your topic, what Stevo said, what he said, what you guys said. I can relate to that, and I feel like at the end of the day, I'm not alone. You guys go through the same thing as well, and I really hope whoever is watching this podcast right now feel the same and feel like they're not alone in this situation. I feel like this is a little therapy session, and I feel
Yeah.
better right now just to actually have a conversation with you guys, because this is actually what we're
That's
talking
what you
about. This is what we need to talk. So we actually talk and we have the crack while we're talking. It's not that deep. We're literally showing the world that we can actually laugh at ourselves even though we're going through the situation, you know.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're not all perfect, but we're you know. So I'm really happy for being
Brilliant.
here. Yeah.
Perfectly. Oh yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm in a mad giggly mode now.
There we go,
Completely
exactly.
not a-
Isn't that the gas that you start off with something depressing and it
Yeah.
works to there?
That's the way it works. And to be
you
honest,
you go on about like suicide attempts to like having the laugh, but
getting sex every
but
day.
like you said, with a gun and nervous goats. But like you said, we got the serious stuff out of the way, and it disarmed us.
Yeah.
So we were more open then to just having the crack and having the fun, and like it turned it's very, very, very beneficial conversation. I enjoyed it, and like Fabu said, thanks for having me. And yeah, I'm in a giggly mood, and that's a good thing when I walk
No,
away
I'm
with
the
a
same
giggly
myself.
mood.
Like I'm happy. Had a great laugh, which is it was great. You know what I mean? And that's what we wanted to show people here. It's as simple as 5 people sitting around. We're in the upstairs of a pub. It doesn't matter where you are. 5 of us there, confronted about our problems that we had. Doesn't matter what it is. As you're saying, it just goes into fits of giggles like we all had. And to be honest with you, I have to say thanks to you too as well for turning up. Do you know what I mean? You came all the way from Galway, you came all the way from Kildare as well.
Africa. I mean, yeah, go away. You're right.
Africa, yeah, that's the other side of the world. So he has more credit where they came from.
But it was a long swim back, you know.
No, but this was important, you know, because
it's a hard topic, like we said, man, most people don't really talk about. And I know it's easier said than done to be able to just sit down and talk to anyone, do you know what I mean? But realistically, like, if you just grab 3 or 2 of your mates, sit down in a pub, confront your feelings, by the end of the night, I guarantee you to be 100%.
Fuck.
Do you know what I mean?
Nobody's had a drink either.
Exactly.
But the gas thing is, we've been in the right setting and we've acted like we've had a drink.
Yeah.
Do you know that way?
Yeah.
And it
In
just
a
shows,
good way, in a positive way.
and it just shows
Just
that
having a coffee together.
it gives people
I'm gonna have a Guinness after this anyway.
it gives
10
people
out of 10.
it gives people the insight as well, even with used to as ourselves, like everyone in Ireland now is used to be realistically, do you know what I mean?
That's scary, don't even say it.
And it kind of even gives them a little insight that, like, well, if them two have problems as well, and they're actually able to sit down with a group of lads and confront how they feel, well, then why don't I do it, do you know what I mean? So I actually think this went really well.
But don't feel any pressure either as well to talk.
No.
You'll only talk when you feel like you're ready, and like, I don't know who said it there, like, sometimes, unfortunately, you've no one to reach out to.
Yeah.
But there is someone that, even like I've always said, if you have no one, even your GP, it's to breach the subject to anyone. Even to hear yourself saying it is therapeutic. Like they say, a problem shared is a problem half. You know what I mean?
And if you have no GP, write it down.
Yeah.
Write it down.
Yeah.
The power of writing is very powerful. In fact, you're using your hands to write your feelings out. It's therapy as well. So it plays a big role as well.
My girlfriend swears by that.
Yeah. So sometimes I don't know how to write things down, so I kind of like use voice note.
That's cheating altogether.
But like, man,
But it gets out of your brain. Stop the rolling around, it's out there.
Yeah. Oh, there's nothing worse, like you were saying, with brain fog. And
Exactly.
like when I had issues with someone from my past, like, stop, every morning I'd wake up and it was just that. Every song it was that.
Yeah.
Every movie it was that. Oh, I was with her, that. It was just, and it was about like a year of just constantly that. And it was awful hard to get out of my head. I eventually did, like, but it was tough.
Oh, well done. Well done for
Thank
doing
you.
it, getting up and doing it, man. The same with yourself. All your problems, you've been getting up and doing it no matter what. And even you two boys. Do you know what I mean? We're all still sitting here today. Why? Because we actually woke up and chose life.
Fact.
Do you know what I mean? So, anyone who's watching
Well, a
this...
round of applause for him for what he said. He had the biggest reveal, I suppose, if that's a
It
stupid
will be a
thing
shock
to say.
to an awful lot of people.
Yeah, but fair play to the confidence
what I'm saying,
to.
That's what I'm saying.
But they
To
might
come out and say
forward
that.
to you.
Yeah, the confidence
guys.
to come out and say that
And
was
if there's
massive, and I'm really touched
If
by
there's
that.
anyone that's watching this and feels they need to talk to someone there, if they don't want to,
Reach out to any of us, yeah.
Reach out to any of us.
Yeah.
Not bother to talk. We'll sit there, like I said, and I've always said it as well. And your man Paddy said, I'd rather sit down and talk with someone than have to go to their funeral next week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So again, lads, appreciate all yous for
Thanks for having us.
doing this.
Thank
And
you.
even I have to give a shout out to the lads behind cameras. We have Gerard, Matthew, Adam, Liam. They're all here behind camera as well, so we can't forget them. And we have Paddy over there as well with his little 2 kids as well.
Listening to the horrible conversation.
We had a little audience here as
The
well.
white
So,
spider from the north, you bleeding orange bastard.
well, look, thanks again for watching, and we kind of hope this kind of sets some stone to some people on their mind.
Definitely.
So again, cheers. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Best luck.